Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for watching the show with us today. My guest is Joe Salomon, Chief Prosperity Officer of SaLaurMor, SaLaurMor.com. Joel, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Michael. Appreciate it.
Great.
It's great to be here.
All right, Joe, let's start with giving some background on you. Who are you? What do you do? And then I want to dive into some of these questions I have for you.
Yeah, first of all, I did want to say I'm a dedicated father to two beautiful, amazing, talented, caring, and thoughtful daughters, Lauren and Morgan, which my company is named after, SaLaurMor. That's L-A-U-R for Lauren, M-O-R for Morgan. And they are now 14 and 12.
It's always good to have a proud dad on the show. Okay. All right. Without being too blunt, tell me about your story. What about you and what you bring to the world?
So I am currently a prosperity coach. I help people become financially free so they don't have to work if they don't want to. And I shut down my hedge fund about 18 months ago when I had a epiphany that I was supposed to be doing this. I was supposed to be helping individuals, not help large institutions make a lot of money. I was supposed to be helping the common person become financially free. And so I have 3 different modules that I teach people about prosperity. Mm-hmm. One is all about education, educating them about investments, the basics of stocks and bonds and mutual funds and stock options and stop losses and real estate and every asset class they're interested in, because I am a chartered financial analyst and I'm also an actuary, by the way. Okay. And the second module is all about mindset, money mindset. Some people have actually called me a money shrink. So I actually teach people about their mindset around money. Everyone was brought up between age 0 and 10 taught subconsciously about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. That's too expensive, and so on. So I teach people how to shift their mindset from that limiting belief to a empowering belief, from that poverty consciousness to a prosperity conscious mindset. And so we go through various affirmations. We go through various techniques to change that mindset. I teach people about mindfulness related to money. And then the third module is all about financial freedom. What's your financial freedom number? How do you become financially free? What number do you need? What does financial freedom mean to you? And the basics of personal finance, cash flow, budgeting, savings, that most people know about but don't do. And so those are the ways I help people to become financially free.
You have a best-selling book. Tell us about it.
I do. Mindful Money Management, Memoirs of a Hedge Fund Manager, came out about 4 months ago, went right to the Amazon bestseller list that first weekend, the end of January. And it's basically about the techniques I use to overcome the adversities, the fears, the worries on my way to financial freedom, and how I use these techniques and how everyone who reads the book can use very simple techniques to overcome their fears, their worries. And then also I wanted to share with people the lessons I learned as a hedge fund manager and the mindfulness techniques that I learned. So I wanted to share how the common person can manage their own money better. And also there's various techniques. I talk about acting as if, I talk about happiness, I talk about trusting your intuition. All these things money managers don't talk about, but actually will help you become financially free a lot quicker.
Okay. Mindfulness. I wanted to dive into that for just a minute and give us just a little teaser on what happens in the book in that chapter.
Sure. So what I mean by mindful money management is being present. It means being aware of what's going on in your investments, not having your head in the sand. So I give the example of September 19th, 2008. And as you probably remember, the night before, the Securities and Exchange Commission banned short selling in financial stocks. And all I was doing was investing in financial stocks. And I was a hedge fund manager, so I was hedging. I was betting that some stocks were going to go down and other stocks were going to go up. So shorting, I was betting some stocks that were was going to go down. I wasn't allowed to do anymore from that day forward until they released the ban. So I could have been like, okay, I'm done. I guess I'm going to get fired. I guess that's it. And in fact, that morning I was max short. So I was betting that the maximum amount I could, that stocks were going to go down. And there was no way stocks were going to go down anymore, at least in the short term, because the SEC had banned short selling. So in fact, that day was the worst day of my career, September 19th. And I woke up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat thinking, okay, what do I need to do to change my plan to go forward? Because fundamentally nothing had changed. So do I need to change my plan? And so I went into my office early that next morning. I went into my boss and I said, we actually need more money to manage because both my longs and my shorts were going to go up. And I was at the maximum amount of capital I could be using for Citigroup at the time. And so I was my boss got approval for me to get more capital. And we spent that day strategizing, figuring out a plan for the next weeks and months. We didn't know what was going to happen, how long it was going to be, a day, a month, or a year, or forever. So we had to come up with a plan, and we spent that morning and most of the day actually coming up with a plan. What do we need to do? And we realized that fundamentally nothing had changed with stocks, right? It was just a new rule, but fundamentally the value of all my securities hadn't changed. So we came up with a plan, and we executed that plan over the following weeks until the ban was lifted in the next 3 weeks from then. Now, we could have panicked, and a lot of people did that day. A lot of people panicked. They covered shorts. They got out. They sold their longs. They made rash decisions. They were anxious. They were worried. And for me, mindful money management is having a plan in place and executing on that plan rather than acting on emotions.
I get it. Joel, I would love to continue the conversation, but we've got interviews stacked up one after another right now. We're kind of running short on time, so I'll have to come back to you and bring you in so we can finish the rest of the questions we've got set up for today, okay?
Great. Yeah, I'd just like to mention, if anybody wants to reach me, they can get 1 hour free prosperity coaching. I give that to everybody in the world. They can get it at SaLaurMor.com. That's SaLaurMor.com.
Great. Joel, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We'll have you on again real soon.
Great. Thanks so much for your time, Michael. Appreciate it today.
Thank you. You've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for listening and watching.